The typical profile of immigration is that of, immigrants, bring us your tired, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. And that is by far, that's 90% of immigration, if not more. And then you've got employment-based immigration, and you've got some other categories of highly specialized immigrants. But what we found is there's a very small percentage of gifted individuals and people who have been very fortunate in their lives, either born into positive circumstances abroad or who have come to the United States and been quite successful. And maybe it's a change in their lifestyle, but it's time for them to stop living in the United States and to go and live abroad. This can be several different profiles. Most often it's people who came here as part of their career. They've been in the United States for 5 years, maybe 10, maybe 15. Kids have been educated, and now they're empty nesters, and they're going on to the, sort of the last stage of their career, or they're retiring. And while they have friends and colleagues and perhaps are leaving adult children behind here in the United States, they're looking for that next chapter in their life. And so what is a unique situation here is that many of them find it's a disadvantage to continue as either with their non-immigrant status in the United States, or with if they had permanent residency, let's say, that's referred to by most people as a green card, that's no longer advantageous to them. That and that could be for a variety of reasons. There are also, in limited circumstances, at one time it was only a few hundred a year, now it's a few thousand a year, people who decide that they no longer want to be U.S. citizens. Citizens can relinquish their citizenship, or they can more specifically renounce their citizenship. That has to be done from abroad in front of a consular officer, and it's a final act, and there's no backsies on that. Once you renounce and you go through a cooling off period at a U.S. consulate abroad and sign the necessary documentation and convince the consular officer that you have sound mind, that you're sane, and you understand the repercussions, then that's it. You are no longer a U.S. citizen. But one of the things that people have to think about is, well, you can't be a citizen of no country. You have to be either a citizen of the country in which you were born, and so when you became a U.S. citizen, you became a dual national. Or if you did not have another nationality, you have to acquire that nationality before you renounce your U.S. citizenship. Otherwise, you become stateless. And a stateless person, it would mean you're just in limbo. You would not have a passport, a travel document. So one of the things that we get involved with is to make sure that people who are contemplating the next phase of their life abroad, that number one, that they make sure they understand the consequences of what they're doing. People find us who are really disaffected with the political direction of the United States, either specifically departing the United States because they don't like the direction that it's taking. It's not sort of what they signed up for, what they believe should be going on. And then other times they appreciate very much what the United States has done for them, but they feel a calling. And we have a number of clients who are returning abroad to pursue a career in politics, perhaps in their home country or their adopted country, or otherwise going to be contributing in a governmental way to a foreign country. And that's for other reasons, for external reasons, that's inconsistent. They cannot hold on to, and they're sort of forced to give up their U.S. citizenship. That when someone renounces their citizenship or relinquishes their citizenship, which there's two technical distinctions there, or they abandon their permanent residency, they return to a state or enter a state of being an alien under the U.S. immigration laws. And as such, they don't have a right to come back to the United States. They have to specifically request permission and establish that their life has changed, and now that they have a residence abroad to which they intend to return. So once a person has decided that they are going to move abroad and live abroad, now they need a basis for coming back and visiting family or visiting friends and colleagues, or maybe they have ongoing business interests that are not their primary interests, but they need to check on things from time to time. And or just simply they have grown accustomed to going to a vacation place in California or New York, or they want to go see shows and go to the theater and be able to visit the United States. Well, they are now an alien to the United States, and they have to establish that they're qualified. And so one of the things that we do is to make sure that in the process of renouncing, relinquishing or their citizenship or abandoning their permanent residency, that they've done so in a respectful and appropriate way, and that they've documented their clear rationale for why they're expatriating from the United States, and that reason is not in conflict with them coming back to visit the United States, or in some cases at a later time to perhaps either work in the United States or to take care of some duties from time to time in the United States. And so we have to take a look at that and make sure that it's very clear, and the record is clear, that what they're doing abroad is not inconsistent with their being able to enter the United States at a future time. So in a nutshell, what we're talking about here is making sure that before someone undertakes such a significant act of expatriation, of leaving the United States, that they consult with us, and then we oftentimes in connection with other advisors, financial advisors, tax advisors, and others, make sure that they're prepared in every way for their future life abroad, and much more importantly, that after they expatriate from the United States, that they have the ability to do the things that they need to do as it pertains to the United States, whether they need to visit the United States, have that ability to document that, or to take care of some responsibilities in a non-immigrant context, perhaps in the United States, or an intermittent basis in the United States. And that takes advanced planning and documentation. Before taking such a drastic action, it is very important that the individual consult with not just any immigration attorney, but board-certified attorney who is familiar with the consequences and has experience dealing with individuals, clients who have in the past expatriated, and the unique circumstances and profiles into which they fit.